What exactly do you mean? Somebody else is getting that. I'm paying right now.
No one is talking about this, but they should. Because just when it seemed like the Haynes family had finally escaped the endless cycle of controversy, Nelly's daughter, Chanelle Haynes, finds herself at the center of a storm she never expected. And it all started at something as simple as dinner at a restaurant. Stick around and wait to watch the clip we have later in this video. You'll see exactly how the drama unfolded. Picture this. Chanelle Haynes, daughter of Grammy-winning superstar Nelly, walks into a restaurant just wanting to have a normal evening out. She's not her father, she's not Ashanti, she's not trying to make headlines. She's just a young woman grabbing a meal. But in the age of smartphones and social media, there is no such thing as private anymore. Every move is recorded, every reaction judged, and one slip of etiquette can turn into a viral scandal overnight. The story really blew up when a fellow diner claimed Chanelle left the restaurant without leaving a tip. That's right, a Haynes, daughter of hip-hop royalty, accused of being broke. And if you know anything about the internet, you know how fast the word broke can spread. It's one of the deadliest accusations in celebrity culture because it doesn't just attack your pocket, it attacks your image, your reputation, and your family legacy. But here's where things take a sharp twist. According to Chanelle herself, it wasn't about being cheap, it wasn't about being broke, it was about principle. She claimed the restaurant completely messed up her order, served her food she didn't even eat, and so she decided to pay for the meal but leave no tip. Her logic? If I didn't eat it, why am I tipping? Simple enough, right? But in the eyes of the public, nothing is ever that simple. Fans instantly split down the middle. On one side, you had people saying, that's her money, her choice, why tip if the service and food weren't right? But on the other side, critics blasted her, saying, you're Nelly's daughter, you're supposed to set an example. You don't stiff the server, no matter what. Suddenly, what could have been a quiet disagreement between a customer and a restaurant became a full-blown internet war. And here's the thing. This isn't just about tipping. It's about celebrity kids and the pressure they live under. When you're the child of a star like Nelly, people don't see you as just yourself. They see you as an extension of your parent. Which means Chanelle isn't just judged as a young woman making a choice in a restaurant. She's judged as Nelly's daughter with all the weight that title carries. What's worse, the word broke followed her like a shadow. Fans began throwing shade, saying maybe the Haynes family isn't as wealthy as they appear. Some even went as far as to drag Nelly into it, saying, if your dad is so rich, why are you out here skipping tips? A classic case of how quickly a minor personal decision can spiral into an attack on an entire family name.
What exactly do you mean? Somebody else is getting that. I'm paying right now. I'm paying right now. So I'm the somebody else from the last cup that may have slightly overflowed, or I know I'm not the only person that didn't ask for some more noodles and chicken in that chicken noodle soup. I know I'm not the only person. The Bose is this little scraping the bottom, slurping up all juice, not getting a noodle in sight. I know I'm not the only person. So with that being said, I politely tried to give them a tip, y'all. Yes, I did. If you know me, you know me. Yeah, if you guys put the spoon onto the side and drip some of the juice out, like press the juice up against the container, you'll get more chicken, you'll get more vegetables, you'll get more onions. That's what I need. I'm paying $10 a pop for this bowl of soup, and I'm getting okay, Panera. So that was that. Now this has been put on my heart to say. If you are a service provider and you do not know how to do something, let's just say here, if you don't know how to do something that someone is asking for you to do, just say, that's not my cup of tea, I'm not that thorough in it, I may try it, but don't expect it to be exactly how you want it because I'm not that good at this. It'll be me trying. You'll be a crash dummy. It'll be my first time. Either way, let that person know, out of respect, out of decency, out of just kindness, out of honesty for your damn self. Don't tell nobody or get to doing a service for somebody and you don't know what you're doing.
But Chanelle didn't stay quiet. No, she clapped back. And when she spoke, the internet lit up even more. She made it clear. She paid for her food, she didn't enjoy it, and she doesn't believe in tipping for bad service. And that's when the conversation shifted from, is she broke? To a much bigger debate. Should celebrities, or their children, be held to a higher standard when it comes to everyday things like tipping? And let's be real. This isn't the first time tipping culture has sparked massive controversy. We've seen actors, athletes, rappers all put on blast for leaving small tips, no tips, or tips that people felt didn't match their status. But this one feels different. This isn't just any star, this is Nelly's daughter. This is the Haynes family. And right now, they're fighting against a label that can ruin reputations faster than any lawsuit. The label of being cheap. So, was Chanelle really wrong for standing her ground? Or is she a victim of the internet blowing things out of proportion yet again? Because as we dive deeper, you'll see this story isn't just about a tip. It's about respect, reputation, and the brutal double standards that come with being born into fame. When you hear the word broke in hip-hop culture, it's not just an insult, it's a declaration of war. Because in an industry built on flash, luxury, and flexing, being called broke can hit harder than being called untalented. For Chanelle Haynes, the daughter of a man who made Hot in Hera a worldwide anthem, this label isn't just unfair, it's dangerous. And this is where we have to talk about the history of tipping scandals. Because, believe it or not, Chanelle isn't the first celebrity, or celebrity kid, to get dragged over what they leave behind on the table. From NBA stars who've been accused of stiffing waiters, to Hollywood elites caught giving only a couple of dollars on massive bills, the internet has a long memory when it comes to restaurant etiquette. Let's rewind a little. A few years ago, several celebrities were blasted online for humiliating service workers with tiny tips, sparking a national conversation about whether fame automatically makes you responsible for giving generously. Some fans argued that celebrities should leave big tips because they can. Others argued that tipping should still reflect service quality, no matter who you are. Sound familiar? Chanelle is now caught in the middle of the same argument, except she's younger, less experienced, and already being painted with a brush of entitlement. And let's be clear, being a celebrity kid is a double-edged sword. On one hand, you're privileged. You have access, money, and opportunities most people can't dream of. But on the other, you're trapped in a glass box where every move is watched, recorded, and criticized. When Chanelle didn't leave a tip, it wasn't just a young woman making a choice. It was Nelly's daughter supposedly disrespecting a service worker. That one detail changes everything. And let's be honest, part of the reason people react so strongly is envy. Many fans see these kids as privileged, and so when they slip up, the world is ready to pounce. Chanelle's situation wasn't just about tipping, it became a lightning rod for resentment, jealousy, and debates about privilege versus responsibility. And in that way, this restaurant controversy became much bigger than the food on the plate. Public dragging. It's become the new blood sport of social media. One minute, you're enjoying dinner with friends, and the next, your name is trending worldwide because someone snapped a photo or overheard a conversation. For Chanelle Haynes, this wasn't just about food service. It was about being thrown into the gladiator arena of public opinion, where everyone has an opinion and few bother with facts. Let's break it down. Why do people love to attack celebrity children? The answer is simple: projection. Everyday people see these kids living lifestyles they can only dream of: designer clothes, expensive vacations, access to fame, and deep down, they feel resentment. So when a moment like this surfaces, it becomes the perfect opportunity to cut them down, to say, see? They're not better than us, they're spoiled, they're fake. And that resentment is amplified by the fact that tipping culture is already controversial in America. Some say tipping should be mandatory, others say it should reflect service quality. Chanelle walked straight into that cultural landmine, and the explosion was inevitable. The fact that she's Nelly's daughter only added gasoline to the fire. But here's the thing most people won't admit. Scandals like this often end up helping celebrity kids in the long run. Think about it. Before this story broke, how many people outside Nelly's core fan base even knew who Chanelle Haynes was? Now, her name is everywhere. For better or worse, she's in the headlines, and that means visibility. And in the entertainment world, visibility often equals opportunity. Now let's talk strategy. Every celebrity family facing backlash has two choices: ignore it and hope it blows over, or flip the scandal into a narrative that strengthens their brand. And if there's one thing the Haynes family knows, it's how to play the long game. Nelly turned a St. Louis rap career into a global empire. Ashanti turned early 2000s hits into a legacy that still books stages in 2025. You really think they don't know how to spin a story in Chanelle's favor? Imagine this. What if Chanelle uses this moment to launch a conversation about tipping culture? What if she positions herself as the young woman willing to speak out against bad service, while still respecting hardworking servers who do their jobs well? Suddenly, she's not the villain. She's the voice of a generation who feels trapped by outdated norms. That's the kind of flip that could turn a scandal into a movement. And don't think Ashanti and Nelly aren't aware of that. Behind the scenes, you can bet they're advising Chanelle on how to take control of the narrative. Maybe that means an Instagram Live explaining her side. Maybe that means a carefully timed interview. Or maybe it means silence now, followed by a bold public move later. Whatever the case, this isn't the end of the story, it's just the beginning. But while PR strategy matters, we can't forget the human side of this. Chanelle is young. She's still finding her voice, still figuring out who she is outside of her father's shadow. The internet might see her as Nelly's daughter, but she sees herself as Chanelle, a woman with her own identity, her own dreams, her own battles. And in moments like this, those two identities clash in ways most of us can't imagine. And here's where the conversation takes another twist. Fans started pointing out that while Chanelle was dragged for skipping a tip, countless male celebrities have done worse and faced less backlash. Is this about tipping, or is this about policing young women, especially young Black women, more harshly? It's a question worth asking, because scandals are never just about what's on the surface. They always reveal deeper issues in society. So now we're left with a story that isn't just about dinner at a restaurant. It's about class, fame, privilege, gender, and race, all colliding in one viral moment. And as always, the internet is watching closely, waiting for Chanelle's next move. As the storm over Chanelle Haynes' tipping controversy raged online, one thing became crystal clear. This wasn't just a random social media explosion. It was a test of character, of resilience, and of the strength of the Haynes family legacy. Because when you're born into fame, every misstep becomes a public examination. Chanelle faced critics head-on, showing that she could defend her choices with poise. By explaining that she paid for her food and that the order was incorrect, she reframed the narrative. What could have been seen as disrespect or entitlement became a matter of principle. And that's an important lesson, not just for celebrity kids, but for all of us, about standing firm when the world wants to misinterpret your intentions. But let's zoom out for a moment. This isn't only about one dinner or one tip. It's about how fame amplifies the smallest actions. Every celebrity kid walks a tightrope. One moment of perceived misbehavior, and suddenly, it's no longer a personal choice. It's a reflection on their entire family. For Chanelle, being Nelly's daughter means she carries both the spotlight and the weight of expectation wherever she goes. And here's where the parental influence comes into play. Ashanti and Nelly, seasoned veterans in managing public perception, are undoubtedly guiding Chanelle through this. They know how to balance authenticity with strategy. They understand that the internet thrives on drama, and sometimes the best defense is to let the narrative unfold under your terms. By staying composed, Chanelle showed maturity beyond her years, proof that the lessons from her parents are sticking. Fans have started to see a new side of Chanelle. While some critics remain harsh, many have praised her honesty and courage. They appreciate that she didn't stay silent and that she addressed the issue respectfully. This shift in perception highlights a key truth. Even in the harshest social media climate, authenticity can win hearts. And in the era of cancel culture, that's priceless. This controversy also opens the door for broader discussions about tipping, service, and fairness. It challenges the assumption that celebrity equals automatic generosity. Chanelle's stance invites a conversation about accountability on both sides, the customer and the service provider, and reminds us all that morality isn't dictated by wealth or status. And let's not forget the lesson for young celebrities. Mistakes are inevitable, but how you handle them defines your public persona. Chanelle's choice to explain her reasoning instead of retreating or ignoring the uproar positioned her as confident and self-aware. She's learning, in real time, the power of communication and measured response, skills that will serve her for life. Meanwhile, Nelly and Ashanti's family brand remains intact. If anything, the episode humanized them further. The public saw that even superstar families face everyday challenges. They saw Chanelle as a relatable figure, navigating a minor but very public crisis. And they saw the parents' influence as a stabilizing force, teaching responsibility, integrity, and grace under scrutiny. So what's next for Chanelle? For now, she's weathering the storm. But this experience may well become a cornerstone in her personal narrative, shaping how she approaches public life in the future. And for the rest of us watching, it's a reminder. Fame may amplify scrutiny, but character is built in moments like these, moments of choice, principle, and courage. At the end of the day, the tipping controversy isn't about money. It's about respect, perception, and personal accountability. And Chanelle Haynes just proved that even in the glare of the internet spotlight, she can hold her ground. This isn't the end of the story. It's just the beginning of a young woman learning how to navigate fame, family, and the relentless eye of the public.